Welcome to Headstones and Microphones, where we use AI to step into the past through a researched, first-person simulation of history's most interesting people. I'm your host, Calvin. While we've added some creative storytelling, our goal is to inspire your own study of these fascinating lives. Now, let's meet our guest. I am beyond thrilled today. We are joined by a man whose smile could light up a whole theatre and whose laugh was pure magic. For those who may somehow not know who you are you?
I'm John Candy. Most folks know me as a guy who liked to make people laugh, whether it was on SCTV or in movies like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or Uncle Buck. I was just a fellow from Canada who loved a good story and a good laugh.
A legend. Now let's go back to the very beginning. When and where were you born?
I entered the world on Halloween, October 31st, 1950. I was born in Newmarket, Ontario, which is just a bit north of Toronto.
A Halloween baby. That explains the fun energy. What was your given name at birth?
It was John Franklin Candy. Nice and simple.
Is there a story behind your birth name?
You know, it wasn't anything too flashy. My parents, Sydney and Evangeline, just liked the name. But having the last name Candy definitely led to a few jokes on the playground, as you can imagine.
I bet. What was your hometown like growing up?
I spent most of my childhood in East York. It was a very working class, down-to-earth neighborhood. Lots of kids playing outside, very tight-knit. It felt safe and full of life. Exactly the kind of place that teaches you the value of a neighborly smile.
And what was your family life like?
It was full of love, though we had our tough times. My father passed away when I was very young, only 4 years old. So I was raised by my mother, my aunt, and my grandparents. I lived in a house full of strong, caring women who really encouraged my imagination.
What kind of kid were you?
Oh, I was a bit of a dreamer. I was definitely the big kid, but I used humor to get along with everyone. I wasn't the class clown who got in trouble, but I was the one trying to make sure everyone was having a good time. I was also very into sports. Football was a huge passion of mine.
What were your biggest fears growing up?
Aside from the usual bumps in the night, I think I feared not fitting in or letting people down. When you're a big kid, you sometimes worry about being too much or not enough all at once. Humor was my way of making sure I was enough for the room.
What did you dream of becoming as a child?
I actually wanted to be a football player. I played tackle in high school and I loved the camaraderie of the team. I dreamed of the CFL or the NFL. Acting didn't really take center stage until a knee injury sidelined my football dreams.
One door closes, another opens. What were some of your favorite activities in school?
I loved the drama club. Once I found it, but really, I loved anything social. I enjoyed history and English because they were about stories, but put me in a school play and I was truly happy.
What was your first job?
I worked in a grocery store. I was a clerk and a stock boy. It was great because I got to talk to everyone who came through the door. I've always been a people person.
Was there a moment where you realized you were different from everyone else?
I think it was when I realized I could diffuse a tense situation just by cracking a joke. I saw that I had this ability to make people feel comfortable regardless of the circumstances. That's a powerful thing to realize when you're young.
Definitely. What's a decision that changed everything for you but felt small at the time?
Joining the Second City comedy troupe in Toronto. At the time, it just felt like a fun way to spend my evenings and maybe make a few bucks. But it introduced me to Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, and Dan Aykroyd. That little decision to audition shaped my entire career.
Talk about a powerhouse group. What was your biggest break?
It has to be SCTV. That show gave us the freedom to create these wild characters like Johnny LaRue. It put us on the map in the States and led directly to the movies.
What were your biggest struggles before success?
Just the uncertainty of the business. There were plenty of times when the phone didn't ring and you're living on very little, wondering if you should go back to a quote-unquote real job. Plus, being a character actor of my size, you worry about being typecast as just quote-unquote the big funny guy without any heart.
Did you ever consider quitting?
Maybe for a fleeting second during a cold Toronto winter, but I loved it too much. There's no feeling like making an audience roar with laughter. You can't walk away from that easily.
Were there any specific daily habits or routines that you feel are essential to your success?
I was a big observer. I'd sit in coffee shops or airports and just watch people, how they walked, how they talked, their little quirks. Those observations became the soul of characters like Del Griffith.
What job would you have had if fame never happened?
I think I would have stayed in the food industry or maybe become a teacher. I love sharing knowledge and I love a good meal with good company. Maybe I'd have opened a little deli.
What was your life like before fame?
It was simple. Lots of time with friends, lots of local theater, and just trying to make ends meet in Toronto. It was a happy time because the pressure wasn't there yet.
How did relationships change after success?
You have to be more careful about who is around you for the right reasons. But for the most part, I stayed close to my Second City family. We all went through it together. So they kept me grounded. My wife, Rosemary, was my rock through it all.
Did fame bring happiness?
It brought opportunities to help my family and do what I love, which made me very happy. But happiness really came from the quiet moments, being on my farm with my kids and the animals.
What was the downside of becoming famous?
The loss of privacy. I'm a shy guy at heart, believe it or not. When you're John Candy, people expect you to be on all the time, 24/7. Sometimes you just want to buy milk without a parade following you.
What misconceptions did people have about you?
People often thought I was exactly like my characters. Always loud, always the life of the party. In reality, I was often the quietest person in the room, just taking everything in.
Tell me about a time when everything went wrong and how did you handle it?
There were movies that didn't do well at the box office, and that can feel like a personal rejection. I handled it by going back to the basics, spending time with my family and looking for the next story that moved me, rather than just the next hit.
Who had the biggest influence on your life?
My mother, without a doubt. She was so strong after my father died. And professionally, guys like Jonathan Winters. He showed me that comedy could be surreal and beautiful.
What was life like in your final years?
I was staying very busy. I was acting, producing, and I even became a co-owner of the Toronto Argonauts football team, which was a dream come true for that kid from East York. I was trying to balance work with my love for my farm and my family.
What were you working on in your career before you passed away?
I was in Mexico filming a Western comedy called Wagons East. I was having a lot of fun with the cast and crew down there. When and where did you pass away? I died of a heart attack March 4th, 1994, in Mexico. I was 43.
What's a random fact about you most people have never heard?
I was a huge fan of trains. Not just from the movie. I actually had a massive model train set that I found very therapeutic to work on.
What's the craziest rumor ever told about you?
Oh, there were always rumors about how much I ate or wild parties, but most of them were just exaggerations. I was actually a bit of a homebody.
What was your most unique habit?
I would often overtip, sometimes quite excessively. If I felt someone was working hard and having a tough day, I just wanted to make it better for them.
What was your favorite food?
I loved a good classic pasta dish or a really great steak. But honestly, nothing beat a home-cooked meal with the family.
Did you have a favorite book?
I enjoyed biographies. I loved reading about other people's journeys, their struggles, and how they overcame them. It made me feel connected to the world.
Did you have any known rivalries?
Not really. I tried to be a friend to everyone. Life is too short to carry around grudges. In the comedy world, we were all mostly rooting for each other.
Tell us a story nobody talks about.
When we were filming Home Alone, I did that entire role as a favor. I was only on set for about 23 hours. I improvised almost all of those lines about the polka band and leaving the kid at the funeral home. We just had a blast playing around with the dialogue.
That is incredible. What's your funniest behind-the-scenes moment?
On the set of Uncle Buck, working with the kids was just a riot. They'd say the funniest things when the cameras weren't rolling. I remember trying to keep a straight face while Macaulay Culkin was being his usual mischievous self.
Did you ever prank someone?
Oh, all the time on SCTV. We try to break each other during sketches. There's nothing better than the feeling of trying not to laugh when your friend is doing something ridiculous right in your face.
What was the most outlandish purchase you made?
Probably the football team. It's not every day you get to buy a piece of your childhood dream.
What advice would you give people chasing success?
Be kind. Always. You never know what someone else is going through. And don't be afraid to be yourself. Your quirks are often the things that will make people love you.
John, this has been an absolute joy. Do you have any closing remarks or stories you'd like to share with the listeners before we sign off?
Just that I hope everyone remembers the laugh today. Find the funny in the small things. It was a real treat talking with you, Calvin. Thanks for letting me share a few stories. God bless.
Thank you so much, John. What a heartwarming look at the man behind the laughs. From his football dreams to his love for his family and his incredible improvisational skills. And that wraps up another conversation from Beyond the Grave. Thanks for joining us on the Headstones and Microphones podcast. Remember, legends may die, but their stories never do. Please help spread the word by sharing and following the pod.